A strong pledge drive can make all the difference in our options. Here to tell you more about our pledge, we have Pledge Drive co-chairs Sally Lewis and Susan Burleson.
I'll point this out before I begin. Look at the timing is, who knows? After the service, there will be coffee here. And probably by 11:15, we're going to have a great show organized by Margaret Summer with a large crew. How many, Margaret? 15 of our group in a show. So please come. And then when that's over, we will go into the fellowship room for a brunch. We have volunteers bringing breakfast foods and sweetbreads and fruit. All are invited to join. All ages are invited to join. Okay, I'm Sally Lewis. And Susan Burleson and I are the pledge leaders for this year. My job today is to remind all of you to circle around USR, to dig deep into your hearts and into your pockets, to get us through the next year without tapping more savings. For those of you who are new, you should know that USR receives no outside funding. We are self-supporting. We are self-supporting. The weekly plate collection does not cover our expenses. Pledges are the main way that we pay salaries, benefits, and all the other bills. We are asking all of you, frequent visitors, members, folks on Zoom, to promise as much as you can in order to keep our congregation financially stable. Now, do I have a story for you? 2 members are offering a generous matching grant for this pledge drive. It's like NPR. They tell us that they have had a good year personally, and because they value our society, they will match all increases at or above 5%, up to a limit of $10,000. In addition, all right, let's hear it. In addition, the board has determined that first-time pledges will be fully matched. So, to do the math here, if you pledged $4,000 last year, an increase of $200 will be matched so that USR receives not only your pledge and your increase, but $200 from the matching grant. And we have an estimated total of $10,000. So we can have a lot of increases here. If you are pledging for the first time, then whatever you give will be doubled by the matching grant. We are hopeful that with this very generous offer, you will pledge for the first time or increase your last pledge by at least 5%. Take time to figure out what 5% would be. Then think about whether giving that money to USR would influence your lifestyle, and then make a decision. I understand your objections. I stood here last year and begged for money. And I know from experience about tight budgets. If we are privileged, fortunate, we earn a living. But then we spend it on student debt, on rent, on mortgages, on cars, on healthcare, on food, on children, on college educations, on retirement, supporting adult children after we paid for their college education, and home care when we grow older. There may be some congregants here who need government assistance, who are between jobs, who are starting out, or who just can't get ahead. The hope is that those of you who have had a good year will increase last year's pledge by more than 5% to compensate for those who can't. And that we will be able to match that generous $10,000. We also hope that everyone will give as much as they can. No pledge is too small. There's no embarrassment here. It's confidential. Giving something, if that's all you can do, is appreciated. It's a dark time in our country. The future is uncertain. The stakes are high. Please think about USR, not only what it does for you, but the lofty principles it espouses. The use of a democratic process, which you saw today in action. Equity, justice, interdependence, and the inherent worth and dignity of every individual. Times like this need places like USR. Where else can you find one community that has a democratic team, a poetry group, lectures, a soul hour, an anti-racist team, book discussions, a caring committee, covenant groups, coffee hour, and potlucks? Amid the alarming news cycle, where else can you go to gather strength and a positive vision from music and art, readings, a minister's address, and fellowship? Where else do you join with others to recommit to the hope of truth, the warmth of love, and the energy of action? Please give in order to keep USR financially stable. Again, no pledge is too small. Increase by 5% and your increase will double. If possible, increase by more than 5% to compensate for those who can't. Let's circle around USR so that we can continue to act as a beacon for justice and love.